It has happened again, my people. Tinubu was caught forgetting in his office today. Can you believe this? After all the talk about him, who would think Tinubu could actually pull something like this on a citizen? Rumor has been swearing about the credentials and whether he ever attained his position fairly. And to make it worse, he's topping the list of people wrapped up in the scandalous act. This is a serious matter, my people, and you can't afford to miss it. So if you're tuning in for the very first time, don't forget to like, comment, and share this video across all social media platforms and hit that notification bell to stay updated on our next explosive video. We'll be back shortly.
Welcome to TV show.
The whole of crime scene
is happening in the street again.
The center of political news, celebrity gossip, religious gossip, and happenings in the society.
Join us, the voice of Africa.
Welcome back, my people. The chaos in Aso Rock today is beyond words. The whole place went wild the moment the Inspector General of Police dared to mention Tinubu's name over the scandalous arraignment of minors who were arrested for speaking out in the protest against bad governance. Who would have thought it would come to this extent? This has stirred more outrage than anyone could have imagined, fueling speculations that there's a lot deeper than we know. Rumor has it that this was all a setup and alliances between the Nigerian government and the police to frame these young children, accusing them of a plan to impeach Tinubu. My people, can you believe the length they'll go to protect their image, as if oppressing the peaceful protesters wasn't enough? They've moved on to innocent children, and you know what the people are saying. They are calling the Nigerian government an absolute disgrace on the global stage. Imagine why insecurity, corruption, and poverty are running wild. They ignore these present issues and instead focus on silencing innocent children, all for their daring to speak up against injustice. It's nothing short of a national shame. My people, this country is lacking basic infrastructures, road, hospitals, schools, and the government is silent on all of it. They are quick to arrest and parade innocent youth, but can't lift a finger to address the real issues tearing Nigerians apart. Is this not the peak of incompetency and oppression? It's as if they're allergic to progress. My people, instead of solving the problems Nigerians face every day, they rather crush on anyone who speaks the truth. And yet they wonder why the people are angry, why the youth are protesting. Is it because the government keeps ignoring the very citizens they swore to protect? But this injustice will not go unnoticed. My people, this is just a glimpse of the truth the authorities don't want to see. So don't even think of missing out. If you are new here, like, share, and hit that notification bell to stay updated on every exclusive detail we'll cover. We are just getting started, my people. There's a lot more to come. Watch this video to see the shocking truth behind the scandal, and stay tuned. We'll be back shortly with even more explosive details.
Situation whereby we arrested minors. Some of these children are under 13 years, some 14, some 15. Some of them, most of them are not up to 18 years. And the lawyer of the government is telling the world, at this point he's not telling Nigerians, he's telling the world that all of them are adults. Some of them are married, some of them are university graduates. But it is evident in the video, any reasonable person who sees this video, he knows that these are children that are under 15, 14, 13 years.
Yeah, but he says some of them actually came on a visit with their parents to see those who were being arraigned. I mean,
this is true.
But, well, you could see the prison warden there actually taking some of them and all of that. So,
I mean, if our leaders should truly be serious about their intentionality about, leadership and how to actually build a certain image for themselves and for the country. Because at this point, as a human rights activist, for example, living in a civil society space, we are always looking at it from the angle of the conventions that we have nationally and internationally. We have child rights acts that speaks to the violations of these children. Nigeria have signed international conventions. Nigeria is a signatory to, for example, the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Children, the UNICEF Convention on the Right of Children. We are all signatories to this. And for us now to be arguing that these are not children, while it is evident that these are children, minors, that are being maltreated, that are being violated, that are being abused, I think it doesn't speak very well of us as a country. It doesn't
before I come to Igwe, you actually saying, I mean, your organization, CISLAC, in a statement released yesterday by your executive director, Awal Musa Rafsanjani, said, and I want to quote, that you're calling on First Lady Senator Oluremi Tinubu to intervene, urging her to see these young detainees as her own children. Well, the government has a different position, and the police are saying that, look, if you fly Russian flags, calling for a subversion, for a takeover of government, that you would have to face the wrath of the law. And the police is saying, I mean, from 7 to 13 or from 13 to 18 years, I mean, it doesn't really mean that you are not liable for your actions. Absolutely.
I think what we need to first ask is the question of why is the protest in the first place? There are a lot of issues that government refused deliberately or otherwise to address that led up to even the protest. Issues around poverty, issues around hunger, issues around unemployment, issues around lack of adequate healthcare facilities, issues around a lack of quality education, issues around poor infrastructure in the country. These are the things that led up toward the protest. And so these are the things that the government needs to be concerned about, not the reaction that they get from the people that are feeling the pain.
All right. Igwe, let me bring you in. Do you think that the First Lady should intervene? Because, I mean, this organization is like saying that, look, let's treat this off the court and see how we can see this as our own kids. But the police is insisting, I mean, that these people engaged in subversive acts, irrespective of whether they are children or not.
You see, it's quite laughable listening to that address. I mean, that's an insult to the sensibility of Nigerians and the international community.
Well, he's a prosecutor.
Yes, and he also, you see, he must not speak to the press. Instead of coming to make caricature of the federal government by this address, he shouldn't have spoken to the press. There's no obligation on him to have spoken to the press. Because we can see these children. You don't need to carry them to any test to determine their age. And that is why I thank the Honorable Attorney General for stepping in. In fact, I was even taken aback when his statement came that he wasn't aware of these things.
Yeah,
so I don't know where there shouldn't be.
Yes, I don't know where there shouldn't be. Police have just gone into this for a very huge, important case.
For that address, you can see their overzealousness. I mean, they should have conferred with the Office of the Honorable Attorney General. The DPP should have given them a directive on how to proceed. Obviously, they don't really understand the laws apart from the criminal code they are quoting and the police.
But does the police need to contact the Attorney General's office on every issue?
See, this has caused Nigeria international embarrassment. It comes back to the office of the Honorable Attorney General. I'm sure that is where he intervened, so that he can really scrutinize this. One, in criminal prosecution, two things are key. One, the actus reus and the mens rea. The intention must be there. It's not all about finding, I'm not their defense attorney and I'm not defending anything, but there are a lot of things that should have been cut off during investigation, especially when children are involved. That is why I'm talking about the provisions of the Child Rights Act. Okay, they ought to have separated the wheat from the chaff and all of those before they come out. The way and manner these children were handled is not right. And that is why I'm sure CISLAC is calling on First Lady. Because now, as a mother, she will understand better the pains of the parents of these children, if at all. Okay. She will understand that this is not all about being legalistic or all about the law, but because they want to make a statement. It's a mixed feeling prosecution, and they know it. If they should leave this thing the way it is now, they may not go far. Yet they will embarrass the government. So I'm glad that the Honorable Attorney General has stepped in, and I believe he will do the needful in restoring and guaranteeing these children's fundamental rights, because they were not treated well. In all honesty, by the procedure they adopted, they were not treated. It's a clear violation of the Child Rights Act that is operational in Nigeria.
Okay, now let's talk about how some of these young people also said that they were misunderstood by the police and the Nigerian public, because some of them claim that what they were holding were actually the defense flag of Nigeria that stands behind the president and not the Russian flag. So that yes, though some of them were calling for regime change and all of that, a regime change. But if you look at the flags that they are holding, they claim, some of them, that it looks the same with the one that the president is standing side by side. So could there have been a confusion? I mean, let's go with you.
Well,
before
you see,
we break.
the truth is this: anything and everything is possible. That's why we talk about intention. If you can't differentiate between the flag they have and the defense flag behind Mr. President, how do you proceed? Yes, I know that other meanings can be read into even the defense flag. But first and foremost, do these children appreciate the implication of that action? I was thinking that by now, police should have gone after those that are behind it, that were behind this.
Well, because they were following the juvenile. If you look at what the juvenile laws says, actually, it says, let me just read out this one. It says, children between the ages of 7 and 12 will only be held criminally responsible if it is established that they know that their acts or omissions are wrong in law. Quoting State versus Mwabuezi there. Could it be that when they were calling on Russia to come and, do take over power or whatever, help Nigeria out, that they didn't know what they were asking for?
You see, what you look at is this. These children as they are, at this point we can't conclude. It's only when they are proven guilty. But for now, they are presumed innocent.
Yeah.
So they can't be treated as though they've been convicted. That's the point I'm making. Yeah. The procedure for me was wrong. Okay, should have given them that liberty to be presumed innocent, to be treated within the confines of the laws protecting them. If they had done that, they wouldn't have gone this far. Even as we are saying, they're talking today, I'm not sure Nigerian police has even established the unit that they expected to have established under the child that should have handled this.
Okay, so let's hear from you, Suleiman. I mean, a lot of people were taken aback by how malnourished some of these people were, some of the kids are. So could it be that they were actually deprived of their rights to dignity while even in custody? How could we have these kids for over 90 days and it looks like they are not properly fed?
Yeah, of course, it is evident that everybody can see to this fact that, these children were maltreated. They were not given enough food, enough rest, enough adequate healthcare, which are the fundamental and basic human rights that every human being needs to survive, right? Whether you're poor or rich, you need
whether
food.
You're in custody or not.
Whether in custody or not, you need food, you need water, you need clothing, you need good environment to thrive. So this is only an exposure to the level of impunity and inhumanity that is in some of our leaders. And that characterizes how...
Is it about our leaders or the justice system?
It is about our leaders. It is about our leaders, because it is the leader who makes decisions that affects the justice system, right? It is the leader who makes the decisions and policies that affects the lives of everyone, including these children, right? So what I'm going to say is the fact that, we already called on the First Lady to look into these issues, to consider these children as her own. I'm very sure if these are her own children or the children of the president, nobody will be speaking about this by now. In fact,
well, they will tell you that maybe
those people who arrested them, who even dared to arrest them, would have been fired by now or imprisoned already. So we want equal treatment of every Nigerian, that every Nigerian life matters, no matter how your social status, no matter your class, no matter you're rich or poor. We want equal treatment of every Nigerian. And
yeah, but the government is pointing to the law there, though the Attorney General says the case file should be, brought to him. And then he said that it will be brought to him today, and they will take a critical look at the issues. But the police is insisting that these people not only went on the streets, but they they engage in brigandage, looting properties, destroying traffic lights, stealing so many things.
I think that is another different.
Yeah, so they are
entirely,
saying that
right?
shouldn't they be held liable for those actions?
That is, nobody's saying they shouldn't be held liable, right? But the charge of treason and terrorism, while in fact the real terrorists are in the bush, the government is not going after them. The government is going after children. That's what I'm talking about when I say international national embarrassment and disgrace. We should be ashamed of ourselves in this country, that we have people who are killing innocent citizens, kidnapping them, but we don't go after them. But our security agencies are happy to go after children, little children, to arrest them and to maltreat them, to refuse to feed them, to display them in the media internationally. The kind of treatment that these children had gone through is just a disgrace. So this all speaks to what we are saying, that had the government provided quality education, that even these children knows that raising another country's flag is an issue, right?
Well,
so there is no provision of quality education to make these children be patriotic enough to understand that, yeah, we must put our country first. We shouldn't raise another country's flag. So this is what we're talking about when we call on the government to provide quality education, good healthcare, good drinking water, good infrastructure. Right? This is what we're talking about, and to ensure that we secure the country. And one last point, we are talking about laws in this country. This is a country that a federal lawmaker was threatening to make a citizen that he is supposed to protect disappear, and boldly proclaim that and nothing will happen. And believe me, nothing is going to happen.
Well, he was slammed a fine of 500,000
there, while children, little children are given 10 million.
Okay, let's bring in the lawyer in the house. I mean, how could a judge have actually, taken such a decision? What are the processes for taking such a decision?
Well, you see, that's why I made the statement I made before, and that is why I would recommend both to the Nigerian.
Welcome back, my people. Just look at what the Nigerian government has come to. They are doing everything possible to silence the voices of the poor and cover up their massive failures. Their administration is nothing short of a disaster, fouled with corruption and injustice. Imagine they are now dragging minors into court, chaining and charging them, all while disregarding the rules of law and the constitutional right of their own citizen. My people, this is truly the height of it. It is disheartening to see yet another example of how little they care about us. They don't listen, they don't care, they only care about filling their pockets, keeping themselves in power, and leaving the rest of us to suffer. They will keep embezzling the nation's funds, treating us like slaves in our own country. But let me tell you, we won't stand for this. We won't keep speaking out, exposing corruption and calling them out for these atrocities. We pray that God help us through and give us the strength to overcome this life of oppression and hardship forced upon us by those in power. My people, we won't stop until justice is served. So this is where I will pause for now. But don't forget to like, comment, and share this video across all social media platforms, and hit that notification bell to make sure you are the first to know when we drop our next explosive update. Stay tuned.